He's a very naughty boy, Ben Sanson, but at least he'll sit back now after that great race in the St George Formula One Triathlon Series and enjoy this, the Uncle Toby Super Series. Still a little bit of wind around as we get ready for the 11th year of this famous Ironman competition. And down there on the beach, in the middle of all that cold and wind, is Tim Bailey.
Yeah, I can tell you're in the commentary box, Wally White. A little bit of wind, he said, folks. I can tell you we're waltzing with whitecaps down here. The southerly hammering Cronulla. We're between tides now. It's starting to go out a little bit, but we've still got a solid 1 metre swell. Conditions a little tricky. Gotta say, choppy and sloppy. Back to you, Wally.
Good on you, Bales. Love that shirt, by the way, too. Enjoy your day down there. I'll lend you my red one for tomorrow. Well, what a year this is going to be for the Uncle Toby Super Series. As we mentioned earlier in the day, 10 races all up, and these are the starters. Kai Hurst, the defending champion, the new kid on the block, and the superstar of the future, Joshua Blair, Steve Pullen. Phil Clayton's back and ready to rock and roll. Kane Hughesner, Brett Tyack, Leon Hay and Nathan Meyer are there as well. Stephen King, Travis Callahan surprised everybody last year. Simon Martin's there. Guy Andrews had to qualify to get back into this series. Drew Cancross, Daniel Shade is the youngest competitor this time around. Glenn Cowdrey, Wes Berg's there as well. Boyd Jamison, Mark Finnecane, John Crow, Trent Scott, Ben Squeers, Luke Richmond, and Shane Blair is Joshua Blair's brother. One name missing from this start list today is Dwayne Tyers, the veteran. Is injured and will miss at least one round. Hopefully Dwayno's back, and if you're watching Dwayne, get better soon and come on back and join us when we head up to Coolangatta Beach. Let's get ready with Grant Kenny and Trevor Hendy joining me in commentary for this one. Wow, the sun's come out and everything's looking great. Couldn't be a better start at North Cronulla Beach in New South Wales. The board leg, of course, is first. 23 competitors are off and racing for another hot summer, one summer of Uncle Toby's Super Series Ironman competition. And I don't know about you fellas sitting here, but I'm getting excited about this because I know that Kai Hurst can do anything, Phil Clayton can do anything, and whatever the young guys want to do is in their hands.
Well, there's been a lot of talk in the off-season about who's good, who's past their day, and who's still coming up. And there's plenty of guys out there today in this race that want to show exactly how good they are. Let's take a look at the course board. 800 metres, 120 on the run, 1.3k on the ski, another 120 metre run, and then the 600 metre swim. Of course, we'll do all of that twice through. So a big day on the water for the competitors, and the tide now has dropped out a little. So that swell that was around about 1 metre earlier on is now built up a little. On the sets, it's up around 1.5. Tricky conditions.
And if you've just joined us, talk about tricky conditions. You just saw our camera trying to get over that little wave there. If you've just joined us, of course, the Uncle Toby Super Series has changed this year. 10 races. They do an endurance format race today, and then on the Sunday, they'll do a pursuit race here, and then they'll chop it up with survival. Trevor, I know that you just love racing anyway, and like a lot of these guys, they don't complain when you say to them, oh, you know, you've got an extra 5 races around this time. How do you think that'll change the way they think, the way they prepare this year?
Well, look, I just think this is so close this year. When I look at the field, I actually get a little bit nervous. I think, wow, this racing's going to be incredible. It is actually an M shape here. The conditions are absolutely perfect for Ironman racing, and I'm looking forward to seeing them coming in and out so many times. Of course, they are racing 10 rounds this year. It's going to be exciting.
And out on the water with us is Guy Leach. Leachy, if you faced up to conditions like this, I know that Trev's got a smile on his face. Would you, you'd obviously like these conditions because you can get a hand on the way in.
Yeah, well, Trev's smiling because he's there in the commentary booth. I'm out here. Let me tell you, this is the first beach in 11 years where there's actually a wave that breaks from the ski cans to the board cans and then stops before the swim cans. It's quite an amazing setup. It's a completely different sort of a beach I've ever seen before.
Well, as you speak, there is a little runner, a little wave breaking there as well, and coming down is Wes Berg on the left-hand side, and Leon Hay looks to get a little break all the way through.
That was good there. He kept the board trimmed well, mate. He kept his weight forward so the nose didn't pop up. That allowed him just to push over, and look at the difference that's made. He may pick up this one now. If he does that, it'll open up a real handy little lead. Pulls onto that. Trev, nice trimming on the board there. Really does make a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was quite amazing to watch that, actually. I think Brett Tyack was next to Leon when they took off and missed it. Now he's back in about 4th spot. Nathan Meyer come up from about 6th to 2nd spot, where he's sitting right there now. That's what these waves are going to do today. They're going to split the field and turn it around a lot. These guys are very skilled on the board.
Chance to suck in a bit of air, have a rest, then go hard for the transition. picks up his board. He'll run around the one summer sign.
Steve Pullen there too, Grant. Australian short course champion the year before last. Very, very good at this part of the race.
That's Wesberg closest to camera. He gets up with the board under the arm. Brent Tyak's also in there as well. And here comes the fellas as they race around, all trying to catch Leon Hay. He finished equal 6th overall last year. Finished 11th in the first race of the season, so he'd like to be getting a good start. Phil Clayton, right in the middle of the screen is Clado. And we talk about excitement. Well, we're certainly looking forward to Phil Clayton coming back, training under you, Trevor, up on the Gold Coast there. Missed the last race of last year and missed any chance of claiming his first series win. And what we always forget is that Phil Clayton has won 6 Uncle Toby Super Series races, one less than Guy Leach.
Yeah, he's done a very good job. He sort of stormed onto the scene a few years back. He did miss that race last year. His ankle's much better now, having a few little problems with it, but really cracking out there. I don't know if you noticed, Matty, but on that same wave was Guy Andrews, and he's ready to really come back.
It's great to see him back too. Let's remember back to the first race last year. After having won the Super Series, Guy Andrews finished 27th in the year when he had to finish in the top 12 to get a contract. So it really was a bad start to the year, and things went from bad to worse for Guy, but came through and won the trial a couple of weeks ago, and it's great to see him back here and on the pace. And a big mover. We haven't said a lot about him here today, but Kai Hurst, isn't he going great?
I was just thinking, we've had around 5 minutes of racing, a couple of minutes of racing. We haven't mentioned Kai Hurst yet, which has got to be some sort of record, especially in the last 2 years of Uncle Toby's Ironman competition. All of a sudden, Kai Hurst has made his move, and what I want to know off you, Trev, is last year we just saw his phenomenal natural ability. Nice little wave again by Leon Hay. But back to Kai Hurst, he's going to be stronger this year, isn't he? That's going to make a heck of a difference.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's really improved so much on the ski in the last couple of years. He's always been a natural board paddler, but I think with that maturity, the ski paddling really comes along. Of course, Kai winning last year and winning the Australian Ironman, almost knocking off Grant Kenny, my little mate here's double. Not quite doing it, getting knocked off in the junior. But yeah, little mate, sorry about that, Grant. But actually, he's really improved in, I'd say, confidence as well.
Joshua Blair comes up on the outside, and as Leon Hay hits the ground running, we might get down to Tim Bailey. What are they saying with their faces, Tim? Pain yet?
Yeah, the haystack. He's had a big look behind. He's got plenty in reserve. He looks back. The big improver there, though, Josh Blair. Beautiful piece of body surfing. Got one wave that doubled up, broke into another, and puts himself in 3rd spot. Wesberg, the iceberg, in 2nd. Back to Blair in 3rd, and a bit of a push by Kai Hurst across the sand as he moves up into 2nd position.
And doesn't he watch straight past Wesberg as though he was standing still. I also noticed up there Trent Scott, number 21, one of the new kids on the block this year around, and make no mistake, we will talk about people like Kai Hurst this year and Joshua Blair, the big names. I don't think there's any question that we'll... Oh, hang on a second, he's forgotten to pick up his ski. Leon Hay has missed his ski and lost the lead right there.
He's gone for the swim leg. That was just a classic mistake. We've seen that happen before. Guys have gone the wrong way, and we've spoken about it before in previous years. It's such an important part of racing. You must have your head on the job, and it just goes to show how easy it is to get a little distracted. He put his goggles on, headed down as though he was ready to jump into the swim leg, which of course will follow this ski leg.
Well, I tell you what, I was just talking about the young kids and how we'll see them come through, and the young guys, well, a lot of the guys that have just raced straight past Leon Hay, who had a pretty good year last year, looked as though they were veterans. You don't make those mistakes, do you, when there's clearly, you know, a focus problem or maybe a few nerves, given it's the first race of the season.
It's interesting you say that. You even talk about Guy Andrews last year, who you would say is one of the very, the most experienced certainly in this field. But last year when he was having a bad run, it really showed in his craft legs. You know, he looked like he was making mistakes left, right and centre, and that concentration just doesn't come when you're not having a good time.
Yeah, that's right. And look out the front now. Gee, that short break really knocked a lot of them around. Josh Blair out the front, doing it well too. Good solid ski technique he's developed over the years. Started off not being so great on the ski, but really going well now, and you're really starting to see maturity in these guys' technique, and that's when you know that they can fall back on experience.
All spread out now as the whitewater comes down and smashes across them. They're heading out on the ski leg of the Uncle Toby Super Series. We're underway for another summer. Great stuff, and there's plenty more to come on one summer. Make sure you stick around on Network 10. We'll be back at North Cronulla in just a minute. years. The ocean can throw up many things in your face, and at the moment it's throwing up quite a good swell coming through. Look at that, Kai Hurst.
Nice free ride to the beach. That should be Nathan Meyer. It is. Nathan Meyer did such a great job on the way out on that ski. While we're at a break, look at Kai Hurst, looks across at the camera, throws a tongue out. He says, I'm feeling just fine here as they approach the end of this ski leg. Two of them will sit there. Oh, it's doubled up in front of Nathan Meyer.
Well, this is someone's already lost their ski on the way back. Now, coming through, that's Daniel Shade, one of the young guys, as I mentioned. In fact, one of the youngest competitors here. I think he's around 15.
He's 15 years old, the youngest competitor. Qualified through from the trial in 3rd position.
Okay, so Kai Hurst is up and running.
Yeah, Nathan Meyer, they're interesting coming in on his ski. Kept it straight. Just a note that Nathan Meyer's board and ski, he's never paddled before. He's actually had to loan equipment for this race.
Why was that, Trev? As his coach, why was that?
Look, mate, I'm not sure why it happened.
It's a great time to be testing new gear. Brett Tyack makes his way in. Nice little wave to the beach. Through the hard part there in the shore break as it dumps down behind him, all that water swirling up around the rudder, making it very difficult to control. That's why you see the competitors paddling just to keep the rudder in clear water.
So the 2 gold caps, a clear gold cap for Kai Hurst and a gold with the red star on top for Nathan Meyer, the twice former world Ironman champion, going in together. And if you're going to go in behind only one person in the swim, you want to go in behind this man, Kai Hurst, and sit right on him. There's Stephen King making his way through. Gives you some idea. Just look behind Stephen King there. Gives you some idea of what North Cronulla is throwing up here. It's choppy. It's messy. There are some waves coming through, but they're very difficult to bring it all the way in, and you have to be technically proficient all the way to the shoreline, which is where Tim Bailey's sitting. As we take a look at Kai Hurst, Tim, tell us what's going on in the sand.
Yeah, look, they're doing it pretty hard. You can tell it's the first soft sand running they've done for the season. This shore break, we saw it on the high tide earlier in the day, how crunchy it was. Well, it's all over the shop now. There are rips, surges, and the waves doubling up all over the place. Not a fun place to be. Once Kai Hurst gets into that clear water, though, watch him propel.
Oh, watch him fly, right? He's a dolphin, isn't he? The rival swim leg, and Kai Hurst is out and about and doing his best. He's going to head out towards that back cam there, and Guy Leach is sitting out there. Leachy, oh, gee, I guess you're excited to see Kai Hurst swim past you because you just can't get enough looking at this bloke swim.
He's got a fantastic technique. It's, it's a reason why he's a good shot to go to the Olympic Games. If not these ones coming up in Sydney, but in 2004, he's just a perfect technician. See how slow his arm rate is compared to the other guys. He pulls so much water. He shows streamline. His buoyancy's so nice, and he just makes the most of every stroke, which is what's needed when you're a good swimmer. But to the credit of the other guys, though, they're actually Nathan Meyer, they're rating much faster. He's actually sitting on his feet and doing a good job hanging on.
And one of the great things about this weekend, Leachy, is that we'll get to see Kai Hurst in action in the Uncle Toby's Swimming Supercharge, which of course you can see tomorrow on 10 when we return for another 3 hours of television. Kai Hurst will be teaming up with his good mate Grant Hackett in an all-star relay team in the 25-metre pool that's sitting up here right next to the North Cronulla Surf Club.
Not a bad relay team, that one, too.
It's pretty fair, isn't it? Imagine if they had a 1,500-metre relay team. Well, those 2 guys would rip it apart. A little bit of one-way traffic there. Let's take a look at the details of Kai, 18 years of age, racing out of North Burleigh, and as we said, the Uncle Toby's Super Series winner last year, just did it in the most tremendous fashion and really made such a big name for himself. He's a good kid, a young kid with a great head on his shoulders, had 2 first placings and 3 second placings.
I think he had a hand on his
shoulders then, yeah. Little Nathan Meyer, or big Nathan Meyer, reached the hand out, put it on the shoulder. Let's see if they can pick this up. This is tough. If anyone gets that, I'll be surprised. Kai Hurst almost pulled onto it. Very hard to pick up a broken wave like that, especially when it's coming from 2 angles.
The
Top
hardest
left
part of any surfing, that picking up a broken wave body surfing.
Absolutely. Top left of your screen, there are a couple of other guys that pulled a wave that closed that gap a little bit. Westberg would be one of those, I would say.
Sunshine's coming out as Kai Hurst and Nathan Meyer come through, and I was just going to say that time and time again last year, Kai Hurst, we knew that he could swim, we knew that he was a great competitor, but he just proved so natural in the water, obviously in the water, but in the surf, he picked up so many broken waves time and time again.
That's a great race there for Westberg, in a great position. He's really improved over the last couple of years, got quite a good fan club that follows him around to all the races, and very popular young guy, Westberg, very funny guy, doing very well, tall guy too.
I tell you what, now there's a fellow we haven't seen so far today, but hasn't he been a great competitor over the years? Kane Hughesner, always up there. solid performer in surf, Kane. He really does know his stuff. His father's a former Australian champion. He's been away and competed in Olympic Games in kayaks. So there's a lot of good pedigree there.
It's a good shot here. Nathan Myers obviously going to look for Kai Hurst's feet on the way out, but you'll see he's hanging on the side a little bit there, Grant. Basically what he's trying to do is not run into his feet when he comes up, but he just got left behind there.
Big mistake, that one. What happened was he popped his head up. Kai stayed in the prone position. Nathan misjudged the depth of the water, went to spring back off his feet to do one more dolphin dive, and look at the difference that has made. That is just unbelievable how quickly things can change if you make just the slightest mistake in terms of your surf awareness and surf skill. And really, I mean, there's a guy who knows it all. It's just applying it every time you're in the water.
Yeah, twice world champion. It's one of those things, it's where the feel of the water and the bottom actually meets the skill level, and you start to sort of say, hang on, I'm going to have to stay on the bottom here and wait a little longer.
It's interesting too, because you were just starting to say how he'll obviously go for Kai's feet. His opportunity to stay with a much faster swimmer is now gone. So Kai Hurst, we would expect, will pull away. He'll turn the cans first to make the run back to the beach, and he will have the best chance of cracking that first wave.
Just take a look at the competitors coming through behind there. Stephen King in 9th position, Travis Callahan back in 11th, and Trent Scott, one of the new kids, in 12th position overall at the moment. Just look at that wash coming across Kai Hurst as he comes around the cans. There's still plenty of power coming through, and Kai Hurst has got a nice handy lead, probably around about 15 or 20 metres. And it's hard work out there in the water. Here comes the wave right around the can. Can he get it? Oh,
not quite.
Well, he couldn't have had his arms any stiffer or any further out. Looked as though the thing was going to fall off if he pushed it harder.
Yeah, look, he's going way left too to pick up a wave.
Oh, no one on the planet would have got that wave, let me tell you.
I don't know, Trev. I've seen you get a couple like that.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Guy Andrews swimming out there. So Guy was well back on the ski. He really got pounded, and he's certainly closed up some ground in this swim league now. Probably back in about 8th or 10th position. Not where he'd like to be, but certainly a lot better than where he was, which was in 23rd coming out of the ski leg, immediately preceding this swim leg.
Hurst gets up and has another look, shakes the water out of the ears and heads up towards the Qantas hangar. It's a pretty big mark right there in the middle of the beach for you. Tries to get a drink, doesn't get it. Doesn't worry about it. Now he's just going to have to keep his head down and get moving on that sand. The other competitors come in now. Nathan Meyer has been on Kai's tail for most of this race now. Big fella Nathan Meyer, and maybe Kai can grab himself a Gatorade on the way. There you go, missed the water, grab the Gatorade, twice as good. Nathan Meyer comes up past Tim Bailey now. As I said, he's a big fella. He really plows through the sand, doesn't he?
Looking fresh too, which is always a good sign.
Nathan Boyd, 6'4" on the old scale.
Number 18, of course, is Boyd Jamison. So he must be around about 3rd or 4th out of the water. There's quite a...
You'd be happy with that, I'd say. That's a great race by him. He's up there, and well and truly up there, in fact. And we haven't seen a lot of him over the years, but like most of these competitors, very solid, consistent, but I guess always at the mercy of how much depth there is in this field. You know, we've heard so many of the good guys say in the past, you know, in fact, the early years, Trev, when it all got started, you had a bad race and you went from 1st to 4th or 5th. You have a bad race now and you're 24th.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the big thing here is actually getting in those top 12 and not having to go through the trial each year. Guys like Boyd, that's what they're really aiming to do.
The big thing here, the big thing about one summer is it's not just about one thing. There's everything to do, and while Kai Hurst makes his way out on the board leg in the Uncle Toby Super Series, let's take a look around and just see what kind of fun you can have here at North Cronulla.
Well, one summer is not just about sport and about summer, it's about participation and having a lot of fun. One of the things that's attracting participation and a lot of fun is the climbing wall. I'm just being bashed by Ali going up the wall there behind me, and David straight up the top. Down here we have Libby. Libby, hi, how are you?
Good.
How old are you?
9.
And how...
On you, Kylie, thank you very much. Kylie J out there doing the colour for us. She'll be here right across the One Summer Series. Remember, 5 venues, but when it comes to the Uncle Toby Super Series, you get double your value for money because we're doing 10 races this year, Saturday, Sunday. Wherever you are around the country, we're coming to a beach near you, so keep your eyes and your ears open and you can get to see athletes like that. Kai Hurst out in front. And Leachy, I'd be interested to know, you're out there, how much of a break has Kai got going now?
Well, boy, he's actually extended his lead from about 15 metres to, I'd say, probably about 40 metres now. He's had a look over his shoulder as he turned that first buoy there. He's trying to make out just how much lead he has got. I'm looking over my shoulder as he speaks, and we've got We've got Kane Houston's now in second, and there's a wave breaking on the can as we speak.
Keep talking, Leachy. You're doing a good job.
And Kane Houston's just jumped over the top. Pandemonium, one of the guys that's fallen off his board, a couple of them actually. I just see his coming around the can here. We've got Leon Hay, we've got Kane Houston, and there's a bunch of guys behind that.
Hey, let's do you a favour, Leachy.
Yeah, just back to you.
Let's take a break. We'll be back at North Cronulla. This is One Summer. Make sure you stay with us. Kai Hurst is leading the Uncle Toby Super Series. Welcome back to North Cronulla Beach. You are watching One Summer on Network 10. And this is the Uncle Toby's Super Series coming in from the Golden Circle board leg. Many thanks to our sponsors. They've all got together under the One Summer umbrella. You know the deal. If they're not around, we're not around as well. Some of our competitors coming through now. Just trying to get a look at those colours there.
I think that might be Trent Scott.
Steve Pullen is there.
Oh, it is too. Yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies. You can't see those stripes on his cap there. Steve Pullen's got a yellow and a green stripe, making it a little difficult to distinguish from the other red caps with just a red stripe or a white stripe and no red stripes at all.
That's Kai Hurst out there. You can tell because he's out there on his own. Easy to tell.
Yeah, isn't he doing a great job? I tell you what, it's a tricky little surf here, Trev. We've seen plenty of times we've been to bigger surf venues, but this here, it's quite a solid wave, and the shore break itself, very tricky.
It really shows up the skill of the guys. You see Kai has been fantastic, hasn't really made a mistake so far. The race is certainly not over because you can have guys get a good break, and Kai can get caught in the break. It's one of those things that really does highlight the skills of the guys, and it actually makes it an Ironman's Ironman race.
I tell you what, there's a big difference too in the way these guys have been making their way out to sea. Some of them, first time around, have forgotten to head across a little bit to their right and take that free ride out in the rip, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, it really has. There's a little hole right in the front there, and the second time out on the board, a little bank is really picking the waves up. Nice way.
Oh, dream run, eh?
The can.
Well, you don't see that too often.
He'll go past the other guys here. Here he goes. He's just rubbing it in.
I don't think he's going to get this all the way through. There's a big hole just there. Oh, I tell you what, he could make a Lyraby here. No, water's a little deep, and the waves, as you can see, just fill up underneath the nose of the board, but all the same, he's just added about 80 metres to his lead. So Kai Hurst really can't put a foot wrong here today. He's making every post a winner. Just sits there nice and comfortably now. That wave I was just talking about that's been holding the guys up on the way out, he's just cut his way back and ended up right on that wave. Now he's having fun.
A bit of fun. He's out.
Kai Hurst is going berserk.
I wonder if he knows there's no extra points for pulling off manoeuvres on the way in the board leg.
There's plenty of points for that. Do as much as you want because you get a lot of points from your mates, not to mention the crowd. And for you at home watching, that's what you want to see. That's what these guys want to do as well. They know that it's serious stuff. There's a lot of prize money up for grabs, not to mention the prestige of another Uncle Toby Super Series race victory. Through the Qantas hangar he goes. Kai Hurst, Tim Bailey is looking very strong.
Couple of cutbacks, a top turn, no problems. He's in front by a minute. We just timed him. He was a minute in front before he got that wave. So he's extended it now. The crowd go up as one at Cronulla as Kai Hurst steams past me. Boys, I think we're looking at number one.
I think you're looking at number one, all right. One race victory to start the year, and probably you're looking at number one to beat for the rest of the year. He had 2 race victories. This is his 3rd year in the series, and Kai Hurst won $70,000 last year. Remember, he was only 17 years of age. Leon Hay coming through now.
Yeah, I did notice too on the way out, Guy Andrews was just about to make his way around the can, back in the pack, around about 10th or 12th position now. Josh Blair on the right of screen.
Nathan Meyer there in the middle, and on the left you've got Boyd Jamieson.
Notice the guys just a few different techniques. Nathan was lying down, having a rest on the way in. Much more stable way to ride your board in. A little bit less risky.
That's a real good crop of young guys there. You've got Wes Berg in there as well, and Leon Hay, and you've already seen the skill these guys have got. You're really going to see the future of racing in amongst these guys, mixed in with, you know, Steve King, Phil Clayton, Kai Hurst, guys like that.
There seems to be a lot of difference also, and I think they're probably, well, they definitely will pick it up as the series goes on. One of the beauties about having all these great sports around us is that these Ironmen get to go up and watch the triathletes, which is what they've been doing throughout the day. Now, a transition is not a term often used in Ironman racing. It's more so, you know, a run leg, which is linking you together. Transitions, as we know, are so important in the St George Formula One triathlon series. It just seems to me that these guys are going to start to learn a few different things off each other and go, oh, hang on a second, in that run leg, if I really put it in, I might get myself just a little bit ahead, just like in that transition. If I get off the bike quick, if I get my sand shoes on properly.
You throw the element of urgency in there, remembering that it's still a race, but you've got to make sure you're not making any mistakes. It does equate to valuable ground, particularly when you get out in the surf, because as we've seen so many times, being about 2 or 3 metres ahead of the next guy is the difference between getting over and getting pounded by a wave.
Well, they've been up there, they've been watching the triathletes, they've been watching the beach volleyballs, and they will watch and compete in the Uncle Toby's Swimming Supercharged later on tonight, as I said, which we'll show you tomorrow as One Summer continues. Well, what a great venue, what a great festival. And GK, while you're up here working, your wife's been out working as well, the Uncle Toby's Health Watch with Lisa.
Yeah, she's been...
Welcome to Uncle Toby's Health Watch. With me is...
Thanks, Lisa. We certainly will. Guess what, GK?
What's that, mate?
Your wife just spoke over the top of you again.
Yeah.
As again,
things never change.
She got the last word in. Kai Hurst is up and racing, and he's got the ski. Let's take a look at this transition. And Tim Bailey's down there as he wraps his ski around that pole, Tim.
Oh, unbelievable. He's just dominating. While Lisa was having a bit of a talk there, he just got away from out the back. He's just doing everything properly. There is no error rate at all with him. He's had a wonderful passage from Mother Nature too. The waves have just done the right thing. He's got it in his grasp, no doubt about it.
Yeah, this really has been an Ironman lesson. It's quite amazing when you look at it. Kai Hurst's focus and his intention has been so spot on in this race that he really has got every wave, he has got every break. And that's what the ocean does. It really lifts you along when you actually put it in that way.
And especially when you know, we talk about dream runs and luck, but Kai Hurst has put himself there. He knows where those waves are and where those breaks are, but he's got a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, well, this is where it all turns pretty quickly too, because this is a nasty shore break, as we've spoken of so many times. Now we're getting down to the business end of the race. He's starting to get tired. You need plenty of power and plenty of speed to punch through those really solid little waves.
He did make a little mistake there too, Grant. He didn't actually push right across, probably because he had to drag the ski and didn't really want to drag it as far. But that complacency can end you up right in the middle of that bank and spell trouble.
He's actually just gone past Guy Andrews, who's making his way in. You can't see him on screen. I've just looked out the window here, and he is going really hard. Guy Andrews, there he is on screen now, absolutely powering. He has not given up. He's a tough competitor, this guy.
The Bulldog is fighting. Let's see how far he can get. We'll come back as the Uncle Toby's Super Series continues. You're watching One Summer, all summer long here at North Cronulla. Well, not a lot has changed since we last spoke to you. This man is still out in front. Kai Hurst is leading the way in the Uncle Toby Super Series, and with the swim leg to finish off this very first race, you've got to put your house on this guy.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's anything to say except that he will take it from here. I tell you what, not a lot has changed with respect to Kai Hurst out the front, but the tail end of the field has just gone almost completely, has been rear-ended. Some of the guys, Steve Pullen, for example, has just had the worst luck of all times. Nathan Meyer, too, was caught up in it for a while. They got in that shore break that we've been talking about all day and got belted time after time. Steve Pullen, in the end, I can't believe how he held onto his ski. He just somehow, miraculously, he was still on it as it was getting dragged in, and he managed to get back on, but he has gone from 4th to dead last. Guy Andrews was able to capitalise on that a little bit, make his way back through the field. As I said, Nathan Meyer lost a lot of hard work done, but Leon Hay is up there and doing well now, I think pulling up into 2nd position.
That was a great shot there of 2nd through to 6th, and actually seeing the different ways they went. You can see that shot there again. And the guys go all different directions. The skis go left and right, and they cut across and they follow the runs. If you look on the right-hand side of the screen, I'm not sure who that is, but you see them sort of overtaking each other and zigzagging. And of course, Grant, that's the best way to get to the beach the quickest, is follow those runs.
Well, as they come on in, Leon Hay just gets his feet out of the stirrups just in time. I might just throw out to you, Leachy, out the back there, and just if you've been keeping your eye on the field, any of the big names up the back that you've seen?
Well, certainly Steve Pullen's in trouble. Phil Clayton, he just looked at me in bewilderment as he went past me. He's back in the field as well. He doesn't know what's going on. But let me tell you, it's very, very tough out here. There's waves breaking out in the middle of the ocean, and it's not like a normal race. You get situations where you can be sitting 300 metres off the beach, and you can have a 4-foot wave land in your lap. So it's a tough day at the office.
Yeah, this is one of these beaches where you turn up, you look at it, and you just get one word: tricky. As soon as you look out here at North Cronulla, especially on a day like today, that was Travis Callaghan coming through, and these are some of the back markers that Leachy was talking about. And quite interesting, isn't it? 11 years of Uncle Toby Super Series competition. You guys have been to countless beaches. You just couldn't sit down and ride them all in one session, and like Guy said, this is one of those rare beaches where it's got strange breaks left, right and centre.
Yeah, it's Brett Tyack. We just saw a run through the arch there. Jonathan Crowe just behind him. Brett Tyack actually just perforated his eardrum about 3 days ago, and the doctor told him, don't get that wet, you can't swim for 3 weeks. And he said, hang on a second, I've got 2 big races this weekend, I haven't trained all winter for nothing. He's out there with his ear all plugged up with a swimming cap pulled over it, still a bit of water coming through, and actually complaining about a bit of balance before he started. So he's doing very well to be out there in the top 10.
I thought you were going to say that he told his doctor, OK, I won't go in the water, but don't watch Channel 10 on Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
Whatever you do, don't look. I've got to go to work. Kai Hurst has got it. He's got it again.
Great surfing. That was really hard. You saw how hard it was for him. He had his head down, and he's still pushing now. Kicking hard, keep the body stiff, and stroke, stroke, stroke as hard as you can. Breathe under the shoulder. Kai Hurst, he has matured so much as an athlete and so much as a great surfer with his skills. It's just absolutely beautiful to watch.
And he's doing it with ease too, you can just see it.
It's not as though he needs a hand in the water either.
No.
Well, right now, it's I guess it's a bit like throwing out a tow rope to Carl Lewis. It's, you know, he's not the sort of guy that really needs it.
He's a little complacent there running up the beach. He looked very casual and relaxed, and there's sort of things, you know, you don't want to slow up too much and get hit by that next wave and do what happened to Steve Pullen, you know.
Well, there you go. There's Leon Hay coming around the can. He is in second place, so he is about 60 metres, 80 metres further out to sea. But it's interesting. Look at Kai there. A little complacent, we say. And you might think at home, well, yeah, he deserves to be, and he's well within his rights to be. But I tell you what, as he makes his way further along the beach there to the south, he's going for that hole that we've been talking about. He's looking for that free ride back out through the surf. It only takes a flat swim for him all the way back to the beach and a wave out the back for somebody else as they turn the can to reverse that whole situation. And it's unlikely to be so dramatic on the board or ski, where you can get the little chops that are there. You don't really need a broken wave, but in the swim, it's quite possible that he could have to swim all the way back to the beach, Trev.
Well, we saw that little episode there before with Nathan and Kai, when Nathan was on his feet, lifted his head at the wrong time, the water was going the opposite direction, made a huge difference. 2 or 3 metres can mean that difference. Even a metre can mean that difference. If you go out in the wrong channel, the guys can be chasing you, go out in the right channel, crack away from the cans and hold it through to the beach in the right spot, and you've made up 150 metres.
And there's the whippet, Drew Cancross, just coming on in. He steps up.
One of the fastest men on sand, this young kid.
Isn't he what? He just steps up. He's only a slightly built kind of fellow. He's been looking for more strength in the upper body to try and build his power when it comes to the ski legs. But when it comes to legs on sand, he makes a move. Kane Houston comes across now. So this is the pack that's chasing Kai Hurst. Kai has got around about, by our calculations, Tim Bailey, Kai has got around 1 minute 20 seconds over Kane Houston and the rest of the field.
Yeah, look, he looks so comfortable. He actually slowed down. It wasn't complacency when he went through, GK. What actually happened was there were people with skis in front of him, carrying handlers, carrying the skis across. He was so far in front, no one was expecting him. He lobbed on the beach and had to give way to a couple of skis. He just, with the body language of, OK, get out of my way, I've got a race to win, and that's what he's about to do.
Yeah, well, thanks for explaining that, Tim, because we couldn't see that here on the telly. We didn't see exactly what had happened, but you know, that's what it's about, isn't it? Keeping your eyes out, Trev. You're always got to be aware of what's going on around you.
Oh, you really do. We often talk about, Grant, on this coverage, we often talk about feel for the water and the guys that have got really good feel. That's what feel looks like right there on the screen. The way Kai Hurst moves through the water, he looks like he has a slow rating. His legs aren't going berserk. They're not creating white water behind him all the time, but he's got this continuous feel. He just flows through the water. He's almost a dolphin, this kid.
Yeah, he's certainly doing his best to emulate them, but I tell you what.
Oh, great wave. If he picks this up now, he's got hit by that one.
Yeah, near impossible. In fact, I think he might have decided that wasn't going to be a wave that he could pick up. It almost looked like he dived down He's probably noticed the one behind it, which is... See, this is what we talked about before. It doesn't take much to change, does it? He's missed one, landed on his head, the next one broke too far in, and now there's really not a lot there. And
certainly not a lot of swimmers either behind him. Most of the guys that are swimming are on their way out.
Still on their way out.
He's got plenty of time to actually have a bit of bad luck, but he's in great form. He'll hold this wave for a long time, and as far as anybody will.
Let's remember what happened to Leon Hay too early in this race. He was out in front. Nice technique as we watch Kai body surf. Gee, he's got a good style.
We often talk about when we're coaching about actually being a surfboard on the wave, Grant. The old stiff as a board, and Kai is a perfect example of that.
I was just saying, Leon Hay, let's spare a thought from him. Early in the race, leading by a good margin, ran straight past his ski and went to start the swim league, had to come back, gave up a lot of valuable ground.
And the problem for that was that there was, it wasn't as though there was a whole heap of inexperienced or, you know, new guys right behind him. There was a whole stack of people just waiting to rip apart that little break and get the victory. Look at that. He is a very, very popular competitor, and the reason why is he's one hell of a champion in the making. The defending Super Series champion pumps the legs, gets the pistons moving, and brings up his first race victory of the new season. Kai Hurst has done it at North Cronulla.
And looks happy about it too, I tell you. There's nothing sweeter than a race victory, and he loves them, this guy.
That's another one. He started last year with a second placing in the first race, and then he got 2 firsts after that. So goodness knows what he's going to do now after winning the first race of this season. And remember, he'll be back here tomorrow in the pursuit format to try and get 2 out of 2 for a weekend. A pretty handy way to spend a weekend at one summer. Kane Hughesner comes through the Qantas hangar.
Nice aggressive finish too. Hughesner, you can see, isn't it great when you watch competitors? Second place it may be, but he's going to fight right to the finish. Up this ramp. This would be a hard part, Trev. It's pretty unique. No one's had to do it before.
Certainly is hard. Kane's running up there. Oh, look at this. We've got a strong finish for third.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Leon Hay and Westberg. Look at this.
Hayes looking at... Oh, yeah, Hayes should get this. Westberg tries to just cram through. This will be an exciting finish. Well, Westberg has come through. It looks as though Leon Hay may have taken a fall, or he may have gone the wrong way.
I think he went the wrong way and had a fall, mate. He's gone down on the concrete.
He definitely had a fall. And the thing, well, that is Drew Cancross. That's the whippet. You don't want to get in a running finish with him. Well, that's great sportsmanship from Westberg, because I know there was lots of shoulders and all that kind of stuff coming up to the top of the hill. You mentioned it, GK, that it was unique. It is something different. Joshua Blair comes across, so a top 10 finish for him. There is Leon Hay. Sorry about that, Drew. You got you mixed up. And number 18, a good finish for Boyd Jamieson. They'll take a break. They'll probably patch up. Drew Cancross will come back and wrap up the Uncle Toby Super Series. Make sure you stick around. One summer from North Cronulla Beach. This man has headlined a great opening day of the One Summer Festival. 18-year-old sensation Kai Hurst has started with a bang once again, getting all 24 points in the Uncle Toby Super Series with the first race victory of the year. Kane Hughesner and Westberg with podium finishes as well. Joshua Blair, a top 5 finish for him. What about Brett Tyack? Went into this race with a perforated eardrum, but still managed to come top 10 despite not being able to dive under the waves properly. Guy Andrews and Jonathan Crowe in the top 15. The trialists did it tough in their opening race. Trent Scott was there, but 2 big names down the bottom, Steve Pullen and Phil Clayton. Quite remarkable to see them so far down. But the winner was the man with the golden cap.
And we've got the winner down here, Kai Hurst. First off, Kai from Citizen, a ProMaster watch. That's so you know just how far in front you get. Gee, you dominated today.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, you know. I went out fairly strong. I knew I had to be, you know, on the front wave coming in on that board leg and just hold the ski and then hopefully break them in the swim. And, you know, all went well. My plan went to plan. Well, exactly. But, you know, my run legs were really good in between too.
You look so much stronger on the ski this season. Some beautiful waves out the back as you turn the cans.
Oh, mate, we needed them. As soon as you turn that can out there on the board and ski, as soon as you pick up one, you know, you just get your breath back and get ready for the next one.
There he is, Kai Hurst, number 1, One Summer.
Yeah, number 1 today, Tim. Thank you very much. And number 1 probably for the rest of the season, the one to beat. Of course.